Hey guys, it's Chris you're seeing here back from C&H Small. I'm making another video. This video deals with a customer's Sears Craftsman tractor right here. He brought it over about I think 3 or 4 days back, and he was claiming he was given this machine I think by his uncle, or I should say he inherited from his uncle I think. And he was claiming the machine was like sitting under a tarp or something like that for a few years. And he brought it over us, and we checked it out over here for him, and we find multiple issues with the machine. One of the biggest obvious things was the deck on there. You can see the deck. He has tons of rust on the deck on there for it, and you can see all the spindles down here. Let me show you the spindles right here. These spindles like froze up on him. Let me see him move the cam here. It won't go all the way back, but these spindles are basically frozen up on here. They just won't move at all on here. Let me see the other side here. The other side is barely budged, but both those spindles are going to have to be replaced on here, plus the drive belt, the deck on here, plus the two brakes. They were pretty stiff on it as well too, and stuff like that. The other thing is his tires in the front are pretty dry raw. You can probably see it right there. You can see a big, like a split and crack all along this sidewall right here. And the other side is just as bad on the other side too. This one was actually leaking over here on the other side. This one was split, and I believe it was cracked and was split on around there as well too. And this one actually needs to be replaced right now for it. And these tires they're a Carlisle turf saver, and they're about I think about 70-80 bucks from Carlisle, because I got their master catalog over here, and that's about usually how much it actually costs from the manufacturer, which is Carlisle. And you got shipping and handling, that's another 15-20 bucks on top of that. The other things were his carburetor up on the side over here. It was not pumping any gasoline up to the carburetor as well too, and it also needed to have the carburetor cleaned out, rebuilt, and have the fuel pump rebuilt on there as well too. And the fuel line was cracked and split up by the carburetors where it goes in the input parts of the carburetor's pump over there for that. The other thing was his his battery up here. Battery he actually had in here was basically dead. I guess somebody left the battery in there for about 4 or 5 years. I got another replacement battery in here for it just to test the thing out and see how it was going to start up over here as well. And this tractor is one of the sad cases sometimes we get over here. Somebody inherits something, and whoever had it before them just basically let it sit outside, even though they actually covered up with a tarp on top of the top part, you know, where your seat's at and stuff like that. The weather didn't affect it up on the top right here, but however it affected the deck on here, because as everybody knows, you get rain, wind, and snow and stuff like that, and they tend to blow around, and that stuff usually lays on the lowest spot of your machine right there. That's why I always recommend having your machine kept in some kind of a garage or in some type of shed or something like that if you intend on storing it for a long-term time either for it. And this one could have been saved if somebody either put it in a shed, or if they put it in a garage, and or if you have to store it outside, I recommend covering the entire machine up with some kind of a tarp out, or don't just cover the top part up. Cover the entire machine up. Cover all the way down to the wheels, all the way down, like right down to here. Let me see, right down the bottom of your wheels, right down here. Just wrap a whole big bag over the whole entire deck, and use like a tarp that's maybe about a 10 by 10, 15 by 15 on something to cover them up if it's going to stay outside. And if you're going to leave it outside, put it up on some kind of chalk blocks. If you have a couple like spare 2x4s around somewhere, just ride the tractor up on those 2x4s so it's off the ground, and you don't have any problems. Basically, the reason I keep it off the ground, because the ground attracts moisture, and you want it as far away as moisture as possible. So just put up on some chalk blocks if you have them, or get some 2x4s and just ride the tractor up on a 2x4 so it's off the ground, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. I personally, the higher the better, so you can cover the deck better. So if it's off the ground, maybe 2 inches, you can actually wrap the bag up around the bottom of the deck and have it completely contained. Because this one right here, it's the sad case where the deck was not completely contained, and the spindles on the top of the deck on here are completely frozen. That could have been prevented simply by having the deck properly wrapped up, and having any water getting down inside from snow, sleet, rain, and the cold, hot freeze thaw and stuff like that out there for that. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot about something like this tractor right here, you can give me a call here if you know my phone number, or you can leave me a message on my page here as well too, and I'll answer any questions that you may have about something specifically like this. I'll see you guys.